Hi, everyone. Hi, I'm Dr. Patti Devers. I'm one of the physicians here at Genova Diagnostics in the Medical Affairs Department, and we're really excited to get to talk to you. I hope you've enjoyed the clips that we've provided this week where you got to meet some of the Medical Affairs team because we're super proud of them. It's a great group. It's Friday. Happy Friday. I know with all of the social distancing and people working from home that, your kids are home, they're not even in school, so people lose track of what day of the week it is. It's Friday. It's a public service announcement, and I'm glad we've all made it to Friday because everyone's been a little bit stressed out these days, right? There's a lot going on. People are really worried. They're worried about the transitioning of jobs. They're worried about school, and people are worried about their bills and the economy. There's a lot of stress. And I was messaging back and forth this week with one of our international sales reps, shout out Kimberly Weath, and she told me to do this. She said, sit back in your chair, drop your shoulders, put your hand on your chest, and just breathe. Something so simple to bring you back to the moment in that mindful place. Just something to think about as you're going through all of these things. So as this evolves, something that simple to bring you into mindful place is important. And why is that important? Stress is important. Stress can really harm your body and do a lot of things. And so we know as part of the stress response, our body, when you perceive or have actual stress, releases cortisol, which is a hormone. And it's a signal, a chemical messaging signal that gets sent through your body. And it does a lot of good things. But in excess, when there's excess stress, it can actually do a lot of detrimental things, like affect your GI tract, your bones, your other hormones. But one of the biggest ones that we're talking about today is that it also dampens your immunity. So cortisol will hold down your immune response, which is the complete opposite of what we want during all of this. And it's kind of the reason why college students, when it's exam week, they often get sick because all that cortisol and all that stress makes you more susceptible to things that you ordinarily would have fought off. So in this time when we're talking about our immunity and we're talking about how do I optimize what I have in my immunity. Stress is big, so let's always come back to mindfulness. Just that one little action. But the other thing we talk about when it comes to immunity is your gut, because what most people don't realize is that at least 2/3 of our immune system actually resides in your GI tract. And you think, what? We think about the spleen, we think about antibodies, we're thinking about lymph nodes, but really upwards of 2/3 resides in your GI tract. So trying to optimize your immune response, the gut, you got to start with the gut. It comes back to that naturopathic concept, that old axiom of naturopathic medicine that says everything starts in the gut. When in doubt, start with the gut. And when it comes to immunity, this is huge. And so we think, okay, well, what's going on in that gut? In our GI tract, we know we have trillions of bacteria. Lots of them. And they work together. And what they do is they try to keep us healthy and they try to stay in balance. And they're actually called the Commensal Bacteria. And the word commensal in the Latin actually means coming to the table, coming together. So it's this amazing group of bacteria that are working together to do everything they can to keep us healthy. And there's also a very interesting concept that the bacteria actually send signals to your brain. And the brain then can also send signals down to the gut. It's this gut-brain axis, and it's actually bidirectional. It's kind of like that whole point of, when someone says, I had a gut feeling, it's that gut-brain connection, such that when there's an imbalance or a dysbiosis of the commensal bacteria in your GI tract, people can get mood disorders. If you're super stressed out, it can affect the balance of bacteria in your gut. So this is a super important concept. And so at this time, there's no greater time to check in with your gut. And as you've heard several times this week through Christine Stubbe and Donna Filatova and others, that one of the flagship products here at Genova Diagnostics is the GIFX Comprehensive Stool Profile. In this profile, we're looking at the balance of all of these commensal bacteria, and we're also looking for bad bugs. Donna talked about how we look at those markers of digestion and absorption. We're also looking at inflammation. We're looking at some immunology markers, and we're looking at that overall balance. We've recently upgraded this report to give you an amazing synthesis of information to talk about, are you out of balance with these bacteria? So in this time, if you're a patient and you really want to check in with your immunity, talk to your doctor about the GI effects. If you're a clinician, and you want to do everything you can to help your patients, you might want to think about ordering the GI effects. And I get it. No one wants to give a stool sample, but we're all home. This is great. This is the perfect time to check in, especially with everything that's going on. And so with that, Genova wants you to know we're open for business. And not only are we open for business, we're here to support you in any way we can. We have an option where clinicians can order and drop ship a collection pack directly to your patient's door. There's also an application called Gear right on your MyGDX portal where you can fill out insurance information and fill out a requisition. And like I said, drop to the patient. Patient submits a sample, sends it back to Genova. The clinician can then access these results online. You can call us at Medical Affairs and we'll review those results with you. So it's the best way to, number one, check in with your gut in this time where we need to optimize our health and our immunity. And the patients now can stay safe and collect from home, which is important. As a side note, I just want to bring up the fact that another initiative that we do here in Medical Affairs is a podcast called The Lab Report, which you heard from Michael Chapman last week, is hosted by me, Patti Devers, and my BFF partner in crime, Michael Chapman. And it's a really fun podcast. And we used to release them every Tuesday, but now we're going to do it twice a week. So you're going to get an episode on Tuesday and one on Friday, which means that one dropped today. Today's Friday. So go to iTunes, go to Spotify, and download. We interviewed a functional nutritionist named Bridget Tidgemeyer, who was so upbeat and gave tons of information, so educational and fun. She actually even talks about stress a little bit in there as well. So it's a really good listen. So make sure you download, take a listen to that. Bridget also has a new program called My Food is Health. And as part of that, she's trying to, in this time, we're trying to optimize our nutrition and our health. She has this personalized approach to kind of help patients do that. And she actually uses Genova's labs, and she uses the one urinary nutrition test that Stephen talked about and Lenore and Warren spoke about a little bit. And she uses our adrenal cortex stress profile, which is a salivary cortisol test. So you see, Genova's here. We've got all these tests to help you get through this time. And so with that, we hope you're enjoying all of this information. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Spend some time in mindfulness. Take care of yourself. So everyone stay well, and we'll talk again real soon.